Wow, what a nice ornament, celebrating the 15th anniversary of the first Cars movie. I especially like the fact that Doc's left eye is completely in the wrong place. Hello everybody, and welcome back to yet another review, and to day 2 of 25 Days of Suggestions 2022. A lot of 2s today. Today I'm very excited because we're going to be taking a look at the first custom of the year. This is my custom of Emma from Cars Mater National, suggested by Aquamarina369. Thank you so much for your suggestion, as always. Customs have always been something you could suggest for 25 Days Suggestions every single year. I don't usually get that many requests for customs, though. So this year, I just sort of made a point of it. I mentioned it a bit more in my announcement video. Like, yeah, you could always suggest customs if you'd like to. And to my delight, I got quite a few requests for customs. So I'm very excited to be taking a look at a few more customs than usual this year. This, of course, is one I made of Emma from Cars Mater National. I made it for my movie, I believe it was for McQueen's team, back in 2018, and I made it using a Raoul Cerule, as you could probably already have put together by now. This was one of the most detailed customs I had ever made at the time, and I think it still is. It's not often I make customs based off of actual things that exist in the Cars series. One of my rules when I'm making customs is I don't like to do customs based off of, like, background characters from the movies or other things, because there's just a chance Mattel can make any one of them and immediately make my custom irrelevant. The only time I've done something like that has been for my Damaged McQueen, my JP Drive customs, my Damaged McQueen and JP Drive customs, and my video game car customs, because those are all things I don't think Mattel is really gonna do. Anyway, though, before we take a closer look at Emma, let's open up today in the Advent calendar. Day 2 is right down here, pretty wide one. Maybe we'll get our first piece of the gingerbread track. It's my only guess for something that big. Let's see. Trying to do this without knocking over the box. Woo. Should really use the tripod for this for future days. Alright. We have... Yep. Oh, whoa, hey. Alright, there we go. Wow, that door is on there really tight. It looks like we, oh yikes, took off a little bit of the box with that one, and now day 5 is trying to open. Let's try to do this without accidentally opening up day number 5. We're gonna lay this down. There we go. Oh yeah, that was not a clean open. I don't know what happened there. I guess it isn't cut as well this year. That's a little unfortunate, but there we go. And now we get out our first piece of track. Just one piece of track. I believe in years past they've had a couple pieces of track on one day sometimes. Yeah, so this year it's pretty interesting what they decided to do with the track. They've had a pretty cool track system for the past few years. In 2019 it just looked like regular old road. In 2020 they switched it to look like it was covered in snow. And then last year they really expanded on that with things like an intersection and a hill and a special few pieces of track that looked like an ice rink. This year they've styled everything after gingerbread, and I think that's cute, but I don't know, I kind of wish they had done some sort of transition piece to go from the snow to the gingerbread. You know, maybe you could have had a piece of track that was maybe partially colored white. They could pass it off as icing, but we would know this is where the snow stops and the gingerbread begins. Either way, of course, this year has a whole candy aesthetic, and that's really prominent with the track being based off of gingerbread with icing here, which I really like. It is just a little annoying that it doesn't go as well with the other track pieces from the past few years, but they do all connect. This, I believe, is a reuse of, the ice rink piece. You can see that there are also 2 other corners with borders that are included, which are repaints of the pre-existing regular track turns, and I think these were repaints of the ice rink pieces from last year. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, like I said the other day, I believe there are no new pieces that are fully new in this year's Advent calendar. Everything is pulled from one in the past. So maybe this is a new piece, but I'm pretty sure it's just the ice rink piece. But yeah, that's all we've got so far. Nice to already have a bit of track, but of course you can't do much with the track until you have more pieces of it. Anyway, moving on back over to the Emma custom, I thought Raoul's role would be a pretty good basis for her. Some of you may be wondering, why not use Cho? Cho, of course, was a Tokyo Mater background character who looks pretty similar to Emma. In fact, she was based off of Emma, just like how several background characters from Tokyo Mater were based off of characters from Mater National. But I don't have Cho. I don't have Cho to repaint. So, yeah, Cho is pretty up there in price, so I used a Raoul. He was out on shelves at the time in 2018 in that 2-pack with Jeff Gorvette. The Jeff in that 2-pack went on to become Team Lightning McQueen Jeff, and later became Lightning Cup Jeff, which is what he is currently. But yeah, while I think this is still a pretty good looking custom, by now you've probably noticed that the paint is actually cracking on her, and it's faded in other places, like the bumper, and I hope it's faded on the mirrors. I hope that isn't what it looked like when I first made it. I hope I didn't paint it that lazily and sloppily. But yeah, I think the white paint sort of flaked off over time. I've never seen this happen with any of my other customs other than my Candace custom, who's painted fully pink, so I guess my white and pink, unfortunately, have a tendency to sort of crack and flake. Of course, I could just paint over them again, but Emma's a custom I haven't touched in years because I'm too afraid that I'll mess up all the intricate paintwork. Emma in the video game, of course, is painted white with pink on her, and she has little butterflies all over her. That's supposed to be a butterfly. It looks a little more like a flower. I don't know why I gave her, like, anime eyes. I think I had her a little confused with Cho. She does have pretty big eyes, but they don't look like that. Got the number 13 on her hood. I really like what her eyebrows look like just in general, with a bit of the pink and then the butterfly coming out. This area needs to be repainted. All of her needs to be repainted, or at least get another coat of paint. I remember choosing not to paint in this part of her. This is, I believe, in the game, a part of the window where you could just see the actual window, but for whatever reason I kept it blue instead of painting it in black. Or I even could have done maybe silver if I so chose. But yeah, I just left it the original Raoul blue. And you'll notice that's something I tend to do with my customs, is sometimes I probably should paint over the windows and I don't. Even in Ty's Cars 4, you can see some of those customs I meant to come back in and paint over the windows, but I forgot to. Yeah, look at all those cracks in the paintwork. I'm so scared that part of it's just going to flake off while reviewing her. But I think for me in 2018, I did a great job capturing the butterflies. Some of them look like TIE fighters. Some of them look like flowers. That one really looks like a TIE fighter up there. Or they're just floating letter H's. But they were supposed to be butterflies. And you can see they're sort of popping out of her paintwork. She even has a license plate, which you could barely read. P33... LIN or something. I assume it's whatever plate was in the game, but yeah, look at that, all cracking and flaking. Why are 3 of her wheels white? Oh, they're not. Okay, I guess they just rolled in paint while I was waiting for her to dry. Cool. So, I think from a distance, this is a very good looking custom that still holds up. But the problem with doing a review is that you have to see it up close and personal. And that's when you realize that, for whatever reason, this custom's paint looks like it would fall off if you tapped it too hard. I think it's all securely on there, but yeah, I should probably go back and do another coat of paint on this custom. I think if I really put time and effort into it, I could also fix the eyes, maybe. I could make this one of my best looking customs ever. So, you know what? Maybe I should do that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for day 3. Bye now.